Hey everybody!
Hi!
I'm Ricky.
I'm Nova.
And we are on our bed in our bedroom.
That's crazy. You want to know why we're on our bed in our bedroom? Because we're going to talk about fighting.
Which may be confusing, so you better hang on and come back and check out this episode of Marrying.
You and me, we got this. Gonna take some practice. Superpower oneness. We are marrying. Oh, oh.
Wonder Twin Powers activate.
We are marrying.
Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Ricky.
I'm Nova.
And we are so happy that you are joining us tonight for Marrying.
What is marrying?
Marrying.
Is changing atmospheres, activating oneness superpower.
And it's a weekly show that happens, and tonight is happening in our bed. That's kind of crazy. Here's the reason why we are discussing fighting. And by the way, we started this 3-part series last week. So if you missed last week's episode, you want to go back and take a look at that. But tonight, we're going to continue to talk about fighting. And the reason why we're talking about fighting in this bed
is because being in your bedroom, in your bed, is one of the most intimate things that you can do.
it might sound crazy, but there's a level of intimacy that you should retain even when you're fighting. Fighting can be really healthy, and especially if you keep that level of intimacy that a husband and wife should. This bedroom setting, a place of intimacy. I mean, not for me this week, because whatever, you can figure that out. However, a place of intimacy where you can get into each other's heart, soul, mind, and become students of each other, so that you can really activate your oneness superpower.
I love that.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to give you something really simple. Tell them what we're going to give them.
So we're going to give you a chart.
Boom.
I love charts, and I love colors and markers. Cool.
Okay. This very simple chart, which you can see, that's pretty cool, huh?
Take a screenshot.
Screenshot. This is going to help you. It's helped us.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain this conflict resolution chart, and then we are going to share where we find ourselves in this chart, and then we're going to give you a homework assignment, because that's what we always do, and we're going to ask you to actually replicate this and utilize it in your relationship. So I'm going to do the talking for the next 5 minutes.
Probably going to interject, just saying.
Which I love it when you
interrupt.
interject. Interject's so more like I don't know.
It's fancy, like this pillow.
There's so many pillows on our bed. Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
great. So much texture.
So, you can see there's 4 corners, and then there's a center box, and we have some things in between each of those 4 corners. Okay. So this word up here is yield. So in the top right hand corner, you're gonna write yield. Okay. Down here, and this word is withdraw. Everybody say withdraw.
Withdraw.
You gotta write that underneath yield, and then in between yield and withdrawal, you're literally gonna write it's low and achieved needs. And we'll have all this in the text below, so you can follow along that way too. And then over on this side, you have win. And then way up in this corner, you have resolve. And right in between them, you have high and achieved needs. Really important. And then smack dab in the middle, you have compromise. And then way up here, it's high concern for relationship. And here is low concern for relationship. Let me show you how this chart works. Up here in this yielding box there's a conversation that turns into a conflict, and you don't want to deal with it. So you just say, fine, whatever you want to do, that's yielding. Maybe up here in this yielding box is you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings, or you don't want to cause conflict. So you just say, sure, that's great. If you like it, I like it. That's yielding, okay? And the reason why it's up here with the high concern for the relationship is typically people who yield care about the relationship more than they care about themselves. But they're not resolving that conflict, they're yielding from it. Okay, so, and then on this end of the spectrum, it's low and achieved needs, because none of their needs are met. It's all about the other person's needs being met. Down below, we have withdrawal, and withdrawal also, when you withdraw, you do the silent treatment. I'm not going to talk to you again for the rest of the night for a week. Some of you do that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's physical, and other times it's withdrawing psychologically too. So.
And you actually can withdraw sexually. I'm the first to say it.
I win.
Last week, she said that word first, and this week, dang. So withdrawing is removing yourself, and here's the deal. It's not only is it low in concern in achieved needs, because you're withdrawing, none of your needs are actually being met, but it's low in concern for the relationship, because you're literally saying, I'm more important than the other person in this scenario, and you're leaving.
Yeah.
But come on over here to win, low in concern for the relationship, because it's about me winning. But it's very high in achieved needs, because I win.
Why do you think I put win in red? Stop trying to be such a winner.
Wow. No matter what, you're going to prove that you're right and the other person's wrong. That's winning. And then up here is resolve. That's basically, this is where you want to get. You have to get to resolve. This chart is all pointing to resolve. But I want you to imagine a board game, and you have your piece in one of these corners. In order to get to resolve, you have to move your piece first to compromise, whichever corner you are. In order to get to resolve, you have to go to compromise. And compromise, we're gonna deal with. But compromise is the only way to get to resolve. Okay, so you have the chart. So now Nova's going to tell you where she saw herself, or where she sees herself on this chart.
When we first got married, as I was a little duckling of 21, I definitely withdrew. There was only one time I remember us having a fight, and I withdrew physically. But I think I withdrew. As I got healthier, I think I began to yield.
We went from withdrawing, and then you came to a compromise, because I chased after her.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And you said, okay, I'm not going to withdraw, so that's compromise. But then instead of us getting to resolve,
yeah, I think I headed
back to yield.
I think I headed back to yield, where it's like, well, I really love you. Like, I'm not going to worry about myself. Or that was really selfish of me to withdraw and go outside on I think I just went on the balcony. Remember that? It was like, we lived in like 600 square feet. I was like, I'm going on the balcony. I can tend to be a yielder, because I'm very worried about other people in our relationship. I'm worried I want you to be okay, but that is not always good for me, because I'm not verbalizing. And I think as people who yield, sometimes we're peace lovers. We want everything to feel good, but we're not peacemakers. So
boom.
Yeah. So moving from yielding into this, finding our voice, we become peacemakers, and that's what moves us into being people who can resolve conflict in a healthy way.
So here's where I landed. I landed up here, resolve. I'm just, from the beginning, I was amazing.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, check it out. This is me. I'm not gonna lie.
And I put it in red.
This was me. Here's how it went down. We'd be whatever, happy and laughing, and then that would turn to some conflict, right? And then it would be 9 o'clock at night all of a sudden. And I'm a night guy, so I could stay up all hours of the night. And she wants to be in bed and to sleep. So here's where I was. We're in the bedroom. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I'm going back and forth, and she's just listening. Okay, fine. And I'm irritated. The more that she looks like she's about to fall asleep, the more irritated I get, because I'm like, no, we are going to fix this tonight.
And I'm the type of person, if I get too tired, I turn into a toddler, and I'm like 3 years old, and I'm going to cry. So I just want it over with. I'm just like, it's all good.
So just when I think we're coming to compromise, because she's so tired that she says, whatever, I'm realizing that she's actually not agreeing with me. She's sarcastically wanting it over, and so she can go to sleep. And that, instead of me then coming to compromise, which would bring me to resolve, like a compromise in that scenario would have been, hey babe, we're not going to fix this tonight. So how about we get a good night's sleep, we wake up in the morning, we'll pick it up there. That's compromise. And then in the morning when we pick it up, we will find ourselves here. Instead, I jumped right over to withdrawal. Fine, see you later. Okay, so now we have a rule in our marriage, which we would encourage you to adopt in your marriage.
Yeah, I think it's actually one of the best rules that we have, is that we always sleep in the same bed. No matter what, even if we've had a conflict, we'll end up in the same. I don't think we've ever, unless you've been on a trip, we've never spent the night apart. And I think that has helped us, be intimate in our hearts, not only close physically, but just saying, you know what, we may not agree right now, but we're staying in this, and we're going to stay in the same bed.
I agreed to that, which made not a lot of sense to me sometimes, because when I'm here and she wants to go to sleep, I just want to go downstairs. I want to go outside. I want to get away. That's withdrawing. But just sleeping here, just being on the side of the bed, even if I'm like way over here because I'm mad.
And I've
then
stolen all the blankets.
She
of
has,
course.
and she's created this Mount Everest of all these pillows. So that I don't even know where she's at, but she's here somewhere. And then she like is a physical touch girl, so she'll like put her arm over me, and then I'll be like, get that arm off. Back to the original reason why we're in this bed tonight having this conversation is because that's intimacy. Mm-hmm. We believe that the Bible talks about enemy of God called Satan, and he wants to actually break that intimacy up. He wants you to get and over there and then her over there. Your superpower, your Wonder Twin powers cannot activate because you can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You deactivate.
You deactivate.
You deactivate.
So it's that time in our show when we assign you
Homework.
Homework.
It's work at home.
So here's your homework tonight. Okay, I'm going to show it to you one more time. Here it is. This is the chart. Now, this chart, very simple to make. You're going to make this chart.
And then each of you will say, hey, this is where I see myself. This is where I tend to go. Come together and talk about where you are.
First step is identify which corner you find yourself in fairly regularly.
Fairly regularly.
That's step number one.
Mm-hmm.
Step number two, you're going to take the hands, preferably in your bedroom with your door shut, locked if you have kids, and you're going to look into each other's eyes. If you're dating, engaged, you want to be in a public place, right?
But they're not supposed to be in a public place right now.
That's right. The virus. No, you can go to a public place.
Park.
Just be 6 to 10 feet away from anybody in that public place. I noticed that I'm in the win corner a lot, and I'm sorry that I always tried to win.
And I'm noticing that I often yield, and sometimes it's hard on our relationship because I don't communicate, and that's not helpful for you or for me.
What we just did, that's called ownership. So once you look into each other's eyes,
yes,
you own where you've been wrong on this chart. You apologize.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some friends. We worked with a couple. They were newlywed, and we worked with them before they got married and then into their marriage. And he had a really hard time saying, I'm sorry, saying those words. A lot of that had to do with how he was raised, and he didn't see it modeled. And you know what? He got to a place where he could say it. He practiced. Mm-hmm. But the only way he could get to a place where he could say that, which, by the way, his wife to this day she's crazy in love with him. She always has been crazy in love with him. But her love only grows as his humility takes effect, right? Mm-hmm. You got to practice things to get better at things. You have to change some stuff to do things different. If you keep doing stuff the same way,
insanity.
Nothing's going to change.
Same results. Do the same thing over and over and you get the same results. It's insanity.
So that's what our homework assignment is. That's why we give you things like a chart, a simple chart, is because we actually want you to take steps to be different.
Mm-hmm. And we practice this ourselves. So we're not telling you to do something that we haven't had to do and continue to do, and acknowledge like where we kind of sit in this, right?
And ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call
marriaging.
So we're just here marriaging.
Go ahead and marriage.
You're marriaging, marriage with us. Marriage with us again next Friday night, 6 p.m. We'll be here.
And we're still talking about fighting.
Yes, but not in a bed. We'll be somewhere very different.
Such a different scenario. You're going to want to see this.
You can't miss next week. Okay. Hey, go marriage together. Have a good time. God bless you. We love you. Thanks for marriaging with us.
We are marriaging.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
We are marriaging.